So why am I doing this year? I've been thinking about doing this for a while. I've mustered some courage to do this. I looked into the fears that I have, fear of being judged by others, by our community, by elders, and I decided that I no longer want to be worried about how I look towards others or being afraid of being criticized. Being criticized is part of life. I decided to embrace it. There will be people in the comments that may say mean or rude things, and I know I can just delete them. The idea is that you need to be completely comfortable with who you are, regardless of who's coming at you, and that's not easy. And I think I've made an oath to myself to break off with people-pleasing, with perfectionism in the past few years, and I feel maybe moving closer to 40, and I keep saying to my friends as we move closer to 40, there is a real truth that comes with and comfort that comes with being in that age or moving towards 40, being able to be comfortable, completely comfortable with who you are, unapologetically you, knowing that you are doing no one harm. And you're human, of course you will do harm, but not intentional. I think that's very liberating. So for me, I decided to be okay with the fact that if whatever I say, no matter how good I say it, may not be received well by others, and that's okay, and that's part of life. And I changed my perspective in life. I used to think that, you work hard, people will like you. You people please, people will like you. Everyone will like you. And I realized when I was doing that through my life, at a point in time in my life, that when I did that, I actually lost my voice, and I lost myself, and I lost my happiness, because I was no longer authentic. I was no longer being me and comfortable by being me. So I decided for the past few years to become more in touch with myself, more okay with sharing, more okay with being vulnerable, and more importantly, very deeply rooted in my personal values, not just the communal values or the family values, but my personal values, which may differ from those communal values. So that was super important. That's the reason why I'm doing this now. Another reason is, like I mentioned, I feel like this year is the epitome of being authentic, truthful to yourself, and being real. And it's a very big kind of with what's happening globally, what's happening in Palestine as well, there's a very big drive towards seeking truth and being the truth, and being in the truth as well. And being able to vocalize the truth, being the voice of reason, being the voice of the oppressed, being the voice of the real thing. So not being afraid anymore of others, and not hiding behind a collective. That's super important. I think for me, one of the values that I've always held very deeply to my heart is that I was not a person of the collective. I was a person who had her own single mind, who was able, and very proud of being able to think for herself and be independent. So it was very important for me that as I lost track of that, to get back to that place where I'm comfortable with being the person who thinks differently. At some places, you become ostracized for it. You become the black sheep. And I had to be comfortable with that. For me to be comfortable with that, I had to be vulnerable and be okay with being vulnerable. So it's really about this concept of continuously being able to be yourself. I think this year will show that very much, and people will be able to be in their truth and alignment, who are being able to be in their truth and alignment, will be able to achieve a lot on a personal level, maybe even on a career level. You see nations rising, speaking about atrocities that are happening. You see others who you wouldn't have imagined to speak up. So I do think that this year is a year of truths, and I hope that you all are in alignment this year, and that you embark on a journey, if you're not already, that you embark on a journey of self-discovery and self-alignment. You're activating your throat chakra. It's very important to speak the truth and be that person that you've always wanted to be. And I'm hoping that I'm able to empower you somehow to do the same.